Hello 2T and welcome to week 4 of the Intro to Shakespeare course. This week we're going to start looking at a new Shakespeare play called Macbeth, and again we'll be looking out for some of the key conventions of tragedy. Before we do that though, I want us to have a recap of the work we covered last week, which was the death scene and Romeo's monologue where he's addressing Juliet's corpse. So make sure you have your notes in front of you so you can check your answers against mine. As ever, my answers are examples for the most part. Yours don't need to be worded exactly the same in a lot of the instances, but it helps you to check out where you're at and if your answers are on the right lines. As ever, if you have any alternatives that you'd like to check with me, please send your answers to my email address, which is on this slide. As the video rolls through each of the answers to the tasks from last week, bear in mind that you can pause the video at any point to give yourself a little bit more time to read through the answers. This week we are going to start studying a second text by Shakespeare. It's called Macbeth and is sometimes referred to as the Scottish play. It deals with tragedy again, but the plot and the characters have very different concerns. As we look at some extracts from this new play, we're going to be heading towards the same aims that I have included here just as a reminder for you. So we're trying to develop our understanding of context, the historical and literary context surrounding Shakespeare. You'll do that through your own research. Develop our understanding of the genre. So this second text is a play as well. Develop our skills of analysis, including techniques, which so far the work I've seen has been very, very good at. And develop skills of evaluation, thinking about the effect of language on the audience and our personal response to that. During week 1 of this unit, when we were looking at Romeo and Juliet, I included a link to a Thug Notes summary and analysis. I will do the same here. I think they're really helpful, really straightforward, so please add to your notes after you've watched the video. Macbeth and his wife Lady Macbeth are extremely ambitious characters. But a lot of this ambition is fueled by the first meeting of Macbeth and the witches. That's the first extract we are going to look at. The prophecies, the predictions that the witches make in front of Macbeth and his friend Banquo. So for extract 1, remember this is the first encounter with the witches, and it really adds fuel to the flames of Macbeth's ambition. The second extract we are going to look at this week is when Lady Macbeth is on stage for the first time and she reads aloud Macbeth's letter. The letter details the meeting with the witches and then the fact that the first prediction, that he would become Thane of Cawdor, comes true quickly after their meeting. Next week we are going to look at the second part of this extract, which is Lady Macbeth's response to the letter. This is the first time we learn a little bit more about their relationship and the way that she views Macbeth and his traits. This week, your final task is going to be to add evidence to each of these 3 columns. I think it's interesting to consider some of the conventions when we're looking at a new play that we know is a tragedy. So this time the conventions I want you to focus on are greed, fatal fortune, and supernatural elements. This will be really helpful for the work that I'm going to set next week, which is a poster to demonstrate your knowledge and understanding of both plays we have studied this term and how they relate to the conventions of tragedy. So the more detailed these notes are, the more confident you are in these notes for Macbeth this week, the easier you should find next week's bigger final task for this unit. That's us at the end of this week's video. As ever, please get in touch with me during the week if you need help when completing the tasks. Be kind to yourself. Remember, this is a new text that we are entering into. So if you have anything that you're unsure of when you're conducting your research or when you're engaging with the closer analysis of the extracts we're looking at this week, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me either by email or by Twitter, and then send the work that you have managed to complete at the end of the week to me by email. Thank you. Take care, keep safe, and I'll see you all soon.